In Monsters, Inc., laying down the ground rules, there are no rules whatsoever in the entire movie, in the second movie, where it says that these doors cannot go to other dimensions. These doors could be Rick and Morty-esque, where they go to different dimensions. This means they could go to different time periods. This means they could go back to 12th century, 10th century medieval Scotland. It means they could go into the future. They could go to the Wall-E universe. They could go anywhere. So there's no rules in the movie stating that can't happen.
That's true.
So that is a possibility that sort of technology does exist within the Monsters, Inc. universe. Now, a lot of people, this is actually the number one comment. A lot of people were saying that Sully is alive.
Sully?
I'm going to say Sully just like that from now on.
Dude, this dude needs to go back to English class.
That's what everybody was saying. Everybody was like, obviously these guys didn't watch the movie because he's alive at the end of the movie. They rebuild the door and he comes back. And you guys are right. He does come back at the end of the movie, but that's not where the story ends. In Monsters, Inc., Randall speculates with Soul Lee on what the humans are like. Let me just say it verbatim. I heard humans skin monsters and make toilet covers out of their fur. The humans are the ones that terrify them. And if you need an example of that, just think about how they react once Boo gets out.
Yeah, we got a 2319.
2319.
2319.
And you pulled that off the noggin, man.
Come on now.
Crap.
I was just making sure.
But
that's the point. It's
They're terrified of humans.
Terrified of germs. Or whatever it is.
Yeah, the germs, the humans, they're terrified of all of it.
Bacteria.
So humans got smallpox.
You know what? They are rightfully terrified of humans. Yeah. In Pixar's short, Partysaurus Rex, there's a kid in that short playing with his Rex T-Rex, and he's taking a bath, and in that bathroom on the toilet seat cover is Sully's fur.
Blue
it is
with
literally
purple dots.
his fur. One day Sully went into the wrong door and he got killed, and somebody
He went to Texas.
he went to Texas, bro.
That's
Castle Walk
a
got
small
him.
town.
He got hit with that we shoot first, ask questions later.
He with that stand your ground law.
The way this works is Boo grew up knowing about him. She grew up and he never came back because he was dead. What makes this theory more believable is the fact that in Monsters, Inc., Boo is 2 years old in Monsters, Inc. In Brave, what does she look like? She's old. She's got white hair.
Ugly.
She's got a hunchback. She's ugly. She's got the shaky voice, and she's obviously old. She's got to be in her 70s, 80s, maybe even her 90s. Yeah. She's very, very old, very frail.
Maybe 100.
The point is, just think back on technology in our life, and not even in our life, but just in our history, our human history. In 1903, the Wright brothers made their first flight. In 1969, Apollo 11 landed on the moon. Less than 70 years later, we went from barely flying to being on the moon. We were in space. We had satellite, we had radio, we had everything. In less than 70 years, all of this technology evolved. In the Monsters, Inc. universe, they have the technology to go from different dimension to different dimension to different dimension. And this is all from the monster's side. However, Boo knows about this technology. She knows how things work. She knows the general purpose because she saw all of that. And she grew up with Sully for a little bit, for a time period. And so she knew who she was. She wanted to find him again. And so that was her life's purpose. During those 70 years of her life, she worked on that technology. She helped evolve that technology, or that technology evolved and she was able to utilize it in her lifetime to try and travel to different dimensions. But she was never able to find him because he died. He's a toilet seat cover now, so he's dead. And so she was never able to find him. And so ultimately, she gave up out of frustration. She ended up in medieval Scotland, 12th century medieval Scotland, where she slowly started to lose her mind. And you can tell she's not all quite there.
That's true.
She's a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But the thing that really does sell it is the fact that she made that carving of Sully so that she would never forget him. The biggest rebuttal to that theory is that people said Boo is actually a boy whose name is Albert Lozano and that he's Hispanic. That is not true. Because
wow. So that came from left field.
Yeah. But I will explain why that came from left field. So in the movie Monsters, Inc., there is a file with Boo's picture, and on the name, it says Albert Lozano, and in the box, or I guess the ethnicity box, it says Hispanic. Earlier in the movie, when Mike Wazowski gets his file on who he's got to scare, it's Albert. Albert is his kid. He has to scare Albert Lozano, and you can clearly see him holding the file with Like his hands are right there. You can see the picture of Albert. Says the exact same thing. It says Albert Lozano, Hispanic. So this is just a simple case of artists reusing that digital asset.
I see.
It's confirmed that her name is Mary Gibbs, the voice actor. Boo is not Albert. Boo is Mary Gibbs. And that's why I believe
What a
that Boo is
beautiful
the Witch
name.
and Brave.